Fox News Alert here. Chaos at Newark Airport. The FAA struggles with some major staffing issues, and it comes just 1 week after air traffic controllers lost communication with Newark planes. So the outage lasted between 60 and 90 seconds. Here's how the tower controllers reacted when the incoming pilot asked for clearance. Listen up.
We lost our radar, and it's not working correctly. Radar service terminates. Squawk VFR, green change approved. If you want a Bravo clearance, you can just call the towers when you get closer.
Okay, I'll wait for that frequency from you, okay?
Okay, no, the Squawk VFR, look up the tower frequencies, and we don't have a radar, so I don't know where you are.
Let's bring in Matthew Buckley, FA-18 fighter pilot, former commercial airline pilot. It's the first time we've heard that audio. To me, it's very chilling. If you count by yourself 60 to 90 seconds, you think how long that is and how quickly these things are happening and moving. Get your thoughts as a pilot here.
Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Bill. Obviously, 60 to 90 seconds when you're moving at hundreds of miles an hour is pretty critical. Sadly, this is going to get worse before it gets better. Our air traffic control system is based on radar from the 50s and 60s, and we got GPS in the late 80s, mid 90s. We are dealing with an antiquated system, and we are also dealing with folks that are overworked and can just randomly walk off the job. But Bill and Dana, the number one rule as an aviator in the front of one of these aircraft is don't hit anything. Don't hit another aircraft or anything attached to the ground. And as you and I, we've all been talking since the DC mishap, pilots have to see and avoid. So worst case scenario, if the radar does go down, eyeballs out of the cockpit, don't hit anything and maintain your altitude. So there are, default things that we can do if the radar goes down, but obviously not optimum.
Are you saying this headline was worse than reality?
Well, I'll leave that to you all. Losing radar is just not good, especially in a congested area up in the Northeast. You never want to have this happen, but sadly, this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Why?
Secretary Duffy saying that we still use floppy disks and vacuum tubes in the air traffic control system. I'm old enough to remember those, but there are people on this planet that don't even know what that technology is. But it's sad that the government doesn't react until something is at a crisis and a breaking point. And even then, we're still stuck in lag and not reacting soon enough.
Can you talk about the number of air traffic controllers that we have? Do we need more? Is the recruiting as big a problem as some suggest? And possibly even the pay, right? Because as I understand it, the entry level would be $47,000. They tried to figure something out for regions where cost of living is a little bit more expensive. But in terms of finding the right people to do these jobs, is that a problem?
Well, Dana, talk about an antiquated air traffic control system. There's antiquated ages in the air traffic controller. So when the airlines got stressed years ago and said, hey, we need to raise the age for pilots, the retirement age went from 60 to 65. Mm-hmm. Air traffic controllers retire at 56. And if you read, it's because it's stressful and all that type of stuff. Last time I checked, flying an airliner full of hundreds of people is pretty darn stressful as well. So, and they also have an age ceiling of 31. You can't be older than 31 to be an air traffic controller. And I'm old. If I wanted to go back to fly for FedEx or American at this point, they would take me. I still have, well, I'm not going to age myself, but let's just say maybe 9 years left in aviation. So there's a lot of stuff in the air traffic control system on the personnel side that needs to be fixed. I'm old enough to remember Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back to the 80s if you want with Reagan, but, you had a Clinton, right? We got Bush for 8 years. Obama 8 years, Trump, Biden, Trump. How did it get so bad when you understand that air travel in America has only gotten more popular? Mm-hmm. And I don't think we're...
And more accessible.
Yeah, I don't think we're going back against that trend either.
Bill, this isn't your first rodeo, my brother. You know the DC thing, that the wheels move slowly, and we always, it's a tired trope, but you kick the can down the road. And the current administration is always going to blame the previous administration. This has been a problem since the 60s and 70s, and you all just alluded to air travel has exploded. So it's always the fault of the person before us. But right now, the Trump administration is the commanding officer. Secretary Duffy is committed to fixing these issues. But this has been, to use a bad example, this has been a train wreck in the making, and it needs to be fixed immediately. If we used more AI and technology, Air traffic control sequencing would be near flawless, almost flawless. Nothing is truly flawless, but still, there is so much technology out there that we could use immediately. I just don't get why we're not doing it.
All right, Wiz, thank you so much. We'll continue to follow this story. It impacts a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.